Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of the Kaiju Kingdom podcast on location. As you can tell, I'm not exactly on location. I'm back here in Texas where I'm living now, but I was out in California last week visiting some family and taking care of some business. While I was out there, I got to do a couple of fun things. One of them was go and enjoy the annual Monsterpalooza convention in Pasadena, California. But that's not this video. That video is coming next. This video, though, is something that I found out that was in the city of Burbank, which is just a hop, skip, and a jump from Pasadena. And I found out about it right after I moved out here. So I've been waiting a couple of months to actually check this thing out in person. And what that thing is a brand new Godzilla arcade game. Not a particular arcade game like Street Fighter where you're fighting. No, it's a prize game. And that game is the Godzilla Kaiju Drop. So this game is at round one in Burbank, California. For those of you who have maybe never been to Burbank, Burbank is technically Hollywood. It's where most of the major film studios are at. And it's part of the greater San Fernando Valley, where a lot of people that work around LA or work in the movie industry, that's where they live. It gets hot during the summer. That's the big thing about it. But I digress. So what you're about to see is the footage I managed to shoot playing this game a couple of rounds. And I'm going to be talking you through the various things that you're going to see in the footage. And maybe come back in with a couple of little tidbits here and there. So enough of me talking. Let's go to past Chris as he got to play this awesome and kind of, well, very secluded game as of right now. So as you can tell, this is a coin pusher game. If you've never played a coin pusher, the basis is there's a two-tiered platform, one that sits above another platform that moves back and forth. With the coin pushers, normally you take quarters, you drop them, they slide down onto the upper platform that moves back and forth. There'll be a collection of coins, and your new coin will lock in as the pusher moves back and forth, thus pushing the coins on the top platform down to the lower platform, which will then move the rest of the mass down into a tray below. With the coins, you collect usually the quarters that come out, or if it's at an arcade of some sort, you get tickets and whatnot. Since this isn't using coins, this is using marbles and a launcher, it's a little bit different. So you get about 10 tries per play, and you have to time your launches. So that little button I was hitting launches a marble. Now you notice there's a rotating carousel in the back. Those have targets. If you miss the target, the ball just drops, collects on the upper tray, and eventually, if you throw enough down there, it'll push some others out. Now, if you hit the target, you notice the light moving above the ramp. Whatever that light is corresponding to the moment of impact through the target is what you'll get. A lot of times, it'll be extra marbles that'll shoot out from the side. So you'll get 3, 4, 2 extra marbles, which builds up on the upper platform, which moves downward and moves the rest of the marbles out. And you collect pretty much points that way. Now, there are 2 extra bonus triggers, or chevrons, as they're called, on there. So if you hit one, you get a card. As you notice, there's a card in the corner. If you hit another one, you get those red balls. At this point, I had swapped stations because there was already a few cards out. So I was attempting to grab the cards you see in the lower screen, which I managed to grab a couple of them. The red balls, I'll explain at the end of the video. That's a little more complicated, and I actually didn't get one of the triggers that set off the balls, but stay tuned at the end of the video for a little more information on that. Now, a little more about the cards, because I didn't get too deep into them on the video itself. So, as you saw in the video, the machine pumps out one of these collector cards on top of the rest of the marbles whenever you hit the gauge right. So, as you saw in the video, the little hole goes through, there is the randomizer. If you get it in right, machine will plop out a card. Now, what are the cards? Well, they are technically collector cards. They're kind of stiff. They're on like a thick board, as you can see. I mean, they're not like this. They're sturdy, but they're not like unbendable. They are actually pretty high quality. Now, there's 10 cards that you can collect, but you have to play the game. And the thing is, the cards are very random when they shoot out. There's a stack of them about that thick that it gets reloaded. So unless you're friends with someone in the back, I don't know who manages these games, but I'm assuming because it's at a arcade where it's constantly needing to be refilled, the arcade probably has a bunch of these cards laying in the back. So I found out from a nice woman who was playing next to me. I don't know if you could tell, but the game allows up to like 5 players at a time. Each one has their own special station you can play at. So she had a stack twice as thick as this, and I had a bunch of doubles, so I asked if she was willing to trade, and she was more than grateful, and she actually filled me in on a couple of things about the cards. So there are 10 in the set. There is a chase card that is absolutely rare. I think it's one in every like 50 or so that pops out of the stack. and that is a Burning Godzilla. That one is card number 10, and I've gone online and looked up, and it turns out if you get one of these things, you can sell it for some decent money. Ironically, probably the amount of money you're going to pump into this thing, you could kind of make it back. I've seen it go for as high as $80. That shows you how rare it is. But the cards I ended up getting were such. I got Destroyer, I got Little Godzilla, I got Space Godzilla, Batra, Godzilla, Bylante, and Mechagodzilla. So Mechagodzilla, Batra, and Godzilla were part of the trade, thanks to that kind stranger. The rest I won, so I managed to get about 8 or 9 cards, but I had a few doubles. Now, what is the purpose of the cards? The cards are collector's items, like I said, but they also can be redeemed for tickets. So they're at the basically where the prize counter is. You can go in, and there's a couple of these games that will give out little trinkets like this that you can redeem for more tickets. The balls that go in also add up points for tickets, but that is held on your round 1 player card. So you just go and swipe your card when you're done. If you've been to round 1, you know this. But these count for like double the tickets. I believe they're like an extra like 1,000 tickets or so per card. So depending what you want to turn them in for. But you don't have to do that. You can keep them. They're meant to be kept as well. It's part of the addiction to get you to play the game much longer, because you want to go and complete the collection and get that very rare Burning Godzilla card. So it's ingenious, but the game is fun. It's not that hard. It's very much a timing, and if you can get the timing down, which it took me about 1 good go around to truly understand the timing. But after that, I think my percentage was like 85%. I was getting in the marbles into the trigger, if you will. It's that window that comes around as you saw in the video, and it's just a matter of random. You know, the top of the hole that it goes into. I'm sorry for the lack of the proper terminology. If you can line it up, it is a little trickier than it seems. And you really gotta be good with your timing. So it's not a game you want to like just power through. You get 10 balls per play, and the game alone costs roughly like $1.50, $2 to play per round. So if you put about $50 on a card, you're gonna get a pretty good amount. There's 12 points per play. So on the card, so whatever that stacks up to. So again, this seems to be only at the Burbank round 1. I have not seen it pop up anywhere else nationwide. So it is in Southern California right now. It has been there since February. That's when I was first made aware of it, and that was around the time I had moved out here. So this past trip was the first time I managed to have the opportunity to go out there and play it, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot of fun. Honestly, I got more enjoyment out of it than the Godzilla VR game. The problem with the VR game is that it's only 2 levels. It's fun, you can play time and time again, but after a minute, you're like, you want something a little bit different. This is a game of skill, so it is very much based on how good you are at lining up the marbles and getting it into the slot. It's a coin pusher, as you saw, and what I also found out from observing, I didn't manage to unlock this portion of the game. Those big red balls that you see that come out, if you collect enough of them, they go down into the chute, they will line up at the top, and I believe if you get 10 of them, the ball will shoot up, and the Godzilla that's spinning around, it's like a roulette wheel. And depending on what it lands in on the slots up there will garner you like a bunch of other points and some other stuff that I just tangentially got to witness someone do. So sitting there and trying to figure out the whole mechanisms of, you know, the red balls, essentially they're just like a higher point bonus that you can get. I don't believe they do anything to the console itself. There was a dozen people coming and going as I was playing, and only one managed to get the ball up there, and it made a sound, and it seems like they just got a lot of points. So, but I digress. Hopefully this game goes out much wider. I would love for all of you to go out there and enjoy it, but until then, if you happen to be in the Southern California area and you happen to be in Burbank, California, head to the round 1 out there and go play it. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. In the parlance of Godzilla games that are the prize winning, I mean, the only thing we ever had was, if you were lucky, some arcade imported the Bandai Namco little shooter game that you got the ball into Godzilla's mouth. This is the first, hopefully, in the line of new Godzilla arcade games, because we seem to be living in a great time. And I do hope by the end of the year this thing rolls out so you all can be able to enjoy it. But until then, hopefully this video has brought you a little glimpse in what possibly could be. So on that note, if you like what you see, we do have a show. It's called The Kaiju Kingdom Podcast. You can find us at thekaijukingdompodcast.com. If you don't like to download, well, we are on all of your favorite streaming platforms, including Apple, Spotify, or wherever else you might find better podcasts. We're also on social media. We're on X, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. If you want to say hi or keep up to date on the late breaking news, the world of giant monsters, that is the place to go. And that will wrap it up for this edition of On Location, the Kaiju Kingdom Podcast. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.